More with the Modern Widows Club. And today we have someone very special to introduce to you. I'm excited to interview one of our amazing speakers for the virtual Widow Empowerment event that's coming next Saturday, April 29th. Today we're talking to Juliette Brisman. Hello, Juliette.
Hi, Carolyn. Hello, everyone. Good to be here.
I know. I want to share a little bit about you before we start talking about your topic, which is resilience and reinvention. Some of our ladies do not know who you are. I didn't know who you were until we met, found each other online, and then started talking and got to hear your story. But Juliette is an author of a book called, actually, I have it right here. A Heart Returned. I hope you can see it. A Heart Returned, detailing her loss, the resilience and reinvention story after her husband Mark died from the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center in 2001. Now, since then, Juliette has raised herself, her family, and is a professional licensed mental health and marriage and family therapist.
Yes.
She's an expert in life transitions, grief, and resilience. What I love about your style is it combines several different modalities such as CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, EFT, emotionally focused therapy, and IPT, which is interpersonal psychotherapy. And your style of therapy is really strengths based focused, which we both highly believe in, right? I love how you're solutions based. You are really from a personal and a professional viewpoint because it really shines through your heart of gold. So after we met, I knew that you were the best person to discuss the topic of resilience and reinvention. So I just want to let you share a little bit about what you're going to share with everyone next Saturday and invite them to come to the event. So take it away.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that introduction. So, just like many of you, this was a path that was not something that I ever expected, not something I planned for. I was not a mental health professional. I'm a marriage and family therapist. That was not my original field. I was in the entertainment business. I was an actress, a singer, a director. So no focus on mental health, no experience with loss, no experience with therapy at all. So this was talk about reinvention, and we'll get to the resilience part. So I've walked the walk. I know firsthand just how scary, overwhelming, confusing this point in your lives possibly are, whatever path you're on or wherever you are in this journey. There is hope. There are tools. There are ways to sort of move through this, not to get over it, not to pretend it's not happening, but to really get yourself organized, figure out who you are, dig deep, find meaning, find a sense of control where there is none or feels like there is none. So I will sort of help you get yourself organized, figure out what you need, become the authentic person you are now, bring some of who you were with you, because you're not going to throw out whoever you were and remake yourself. That's not what reinvention, that's not what resilience is, but is using the tools, the resources you have, adding resources in, and really kind of figuring out a personal way. Your journey is not going to look like anyone else. That is both the positive and the also scary part of grief, which is there is no roadmap, right? Like other modalities of therapy, right? If you're anxious, do this. If you're depressed, do this. If you've lost a loved one, we can't say do this and it will work. So it's both an opportunity for growth, and it's something that you can use for positive change, right? To better your lives and the lives of the people you love.
That's right. Both of us lost our spouses by sudden loss. Um, Both of us, neither of us in the profession of what I would call the wounded healing arts.
Mhm.
Both of us went in the direction of what Dr. Stephen Southwick coined as being super survivors, which is surviving the actual trauma that
Mhm.
came unexpectedly, but then walking towards that hope and healing and growth path, discovering actually what resilience looked like, how it lived day to day, and then we came back to help others. That is exactly what a super survivor is,
Mhm.
and that's what I really relate with you on this, because we are 23, 22 years along, and
Yes.
and there's a wisdom that comes with this, having experienced this so long ago.
Mhm.
um, Neither of us understood, or even no one talked to us about resilience in the beginning of early widowhood, because we were just grasping to breathe properly, right? But we so remember that experience. It does not leave you in the compassion and empathy that comes from having experienced it and being a professional, I think is Dr. Joanne Cacciatore calls the best peer support you could potentially get, because you have both the personal and the professional um, holding space with the person who is struggling with the reinvention of their life. It's very hard to um, take advice from someone who really hasn't faced such depth of tragedy. So what you said is so right on, and I'm so grateful that you're gonna be there walking that
Yeah.
pathway with our ladies, right?
Yes. I actually am working with a client right now. My field is marriage and family therapy, so I work, of course, with all different types of clients. But the reason I got into this is because of my real focus, and what I love to do is help people through grief and loss and those types of things. And I was just working with one of my clients just the other night, and she had lost very suddenly her partner, and she is just questioning. That's really, I think, what happens right away is you're questioning, am I doing the right thing? Is it okay for me to not return calls? Is it okay for me to not say yes to family functions? So these are the types of things very early on. You question, the shoulds, right? Or should I do this? Should I not? What do people expect? And I think for those of you very early in the process, really trust and try to tap into what you need right now. So the advice I gave her was, she wanted to cancel on Easter, but she said my aunt is on her way out. She's dying, and I feel like I should go. So
Mhm.
what wound up happening is, I believe she did go to the family function, but left early, and she was
Oh, yeah.
doubting herself, and she was upset with herself. And we sort of we talked through it, and that sort of the way I described it to her is that it's a win, is that you were true to what you needed and what you wanted, but also backed out when you became overwhelmed and you needed sort of your space. So all of that stuff is okay. So don't put too many shoulds in there, right?
Yeah, we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves. This is the first time this experience has happened in our life.
Right,
I always say no one really does widowhood perfectly, because
right.
that's a lot of pressure. And there's also a rebuilding of your confidence. I was surprised at myself. I'll just use myself as an example,
Mhm.
as how much confidence I lost not having my partner, and questioning what intuitively I knew to do before, but I was questioning it now in this new life. And the fear for me was crippling, that I would make a misstep. And then, of course, as you meet so many other widows, you realize there is no such thing as a misstep. You are simply doing the best that you possibly can in almost impossible life circumstance, right?
Yes, yes, exactly, Carol. That's why this community and those like it are so important,
Yes.
because it is very isolating. Grief is isolating. No one experiences it like you, but we're all experiencing it. So you're alone, but yet you're together, right? So it's a very, very odd feeling, an odd place to be. Um,
Yes.
and you feel, especially early on, with all of the other emotions, the fact that life goes on and people are celebrating and doing things and going about their lives. It's almost the way my clients describe it is they're angry and incensed. How could life just happen when my person is gone? Right? That's a very conflicting experience and emotion that many people new to the process are going through. And how do you manage those feelings at the same time, right? Feeling angry and sad, and seeing that there is a second part of life, right? Life can go on and does go on.
Hmm. So
And then,
I remember sitting in trauma ICU after the car accident, and I looked up at the window and the light was coming through in the morning time. And I remember, I will never forget that moment going, oh my gosh, time has stood still for me in
mm,
this moment, but life is still going on. I'm sure that's how it was for you too.
absolutely,
Not
absolutely.
knowing where Mark was, if he was in the trade center, with the aftermath.
Hmm.
Um, and I want you to share a little bit about your heart returned, because I think your story is so beautiful.
Yes. The book, by the way, A Heart Returned, is in talks of for TV or film. That's sort of where I am right now. I never expected this was a memoir. This was something as part of my healing, writing the book, writing the story. But the message is so uplifting and profound and unique. And right now, Hollywood is looking at it. So we'll see. This could be brought to life outside of the book. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm really,
It
I'm really
has to do with something for a long time when you didn't have any evidence of him. And then they found a piece that was returned to you, and it
yes.
was
Yes, it's basically somewhat, the book is a roadmap of my experience, and many people can relate to life just going along and nothing, nothing big happening, just living my life with my husband and our two young children, and this just completely, just absolutely rocked my world, our world, and basically what the missteps, the mistakes, looking back, that I've made, the things that I did right, everything in between, all the emotions, and basically the heart of the story is my husband's wedding ring, believe it or not, was recovered and returned to me several years after the incident. Um, but it was apparently found in the days after, and it just took that long to get it back to me. I will show the ring to everyone during our session, but
Oh, really?
I will
Oh
show
my
it to you. I have it. I will bring it.
That's a
It's
big part of your story. I didn't know you were going to do that.
It was what it looked like, how
Uh-huh.
it was turned, and what it looked like, which is
Okay.
kind of the miracle of the story. So
Right.
you will see it, and
Oh,
um, and that is really what really was inspirational for me. It was almost like the little push I needed to go forward, because a couple years in, I was in a little bit of a low place. I had been just sort of moving along, and that really was sort of a game changer in a way for me.
for
It's something
sure. Now,
getting back.
your book is in the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. I wanted to make sure people knew that, because I know you're involved there. But I can't wait for everyone who attends our virtual Widow Empowerment event to get to know you better and hear more from your session, because And now they're going to get to see the ring from the book
Yes,
and possible
yes,
movie someday. So
yes,
that's exciting to know. Thank you for sharing that.
yes. And the book is available on Amazon, so you can order it.
Awesome.
It's not just at the museum, but
That's right.
the book can be ordered.
That's
It's
right.
also on if people like e-readers, it's on that way as well. Um,
Awesome.
but my real focus is my work as a therapist. I'm not
Mhm.
a writer. This might be my first and only publication, but it really furthers my mission to really be a voice for people that, like me, were just really not sure kind of
That's right.
where to go, what to do. And the fact that I'm also, I'm a widow, I was a widow, and well, I am a widow, and that never changes no matter what your marital status is.
Right.
You still, it is really two different lives you're leading, the life you had before and
Mhm.
after. And it's okay to say, it's never going to be the same, and doesn't have to be, just like any other transition in life, right? Things you have to adjust. You're constantly having to, that is what life stages are all about, right?
Right.
You grow up at your home, you leave home, you establish your own family or your own life, your own independence. You may raise children. That changes
Mhm.
depending on their age, what you need, what they need. So life is constantly about changing and adjusting. And when you do it successfully, things go well. And when you hold on tight and when you're not able to redirect, that's when sometimes symptoms and problems start or people get stuck.
And
So it's
suffering.
really about,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's really about adjusting to all of the different changes, life cycle events. Some are normative, some are non-normative, like losing a partner.
Mhm.
That sometimes is you know, a non-normative event when it happens to young people.
Well,
So
I look forward to hearing everything in the going from the resilience into the reinvention, because we're all on that journey.
yes,
And that's what, we were excited that you chose that topic, because you've lived it,
mhm.
and you really have a great compassion for it. And anyone who wants to find out more about Juliette, they can go to juliettebrisman.com, and also check out her book on Amazon. And so get registered for our virtual Widow Empowerment event, which is next Saturday, April 29th, because we're having a full day. Juliette's one of our 6 amazing speakers. We're going to have some giveaways, and it's going to be an incredibly inspirational day. So I will see you next Saturday, Julie, for more.
Yes, yes. Looking forward to it very much.
All righty. All
Thank
right, everybody. I think we might have one more interview. I'm not sure, but all of the interviews with all the We speakers are on our YouTube channel and also our Facebook. So go check those out. So I'll see you next Saturday.